command is simple, but the path is perilous. To remain as you are is an act of surrender. It is to chain yourself to mediocrity, to accept that your story will end where it began. The weak cling to this, calling it stability, pretending it is enough. But the strong see through the facade. They know that every moment spent standing still is a moment wasted. To upgrade is not a choice. It is survival. To stay the same is to decay. Character is not built in comfort. It is forged in conflict. The weak seek a life free from challenge, free from hardship, free from pain. But the strong understand that these are the very forces that shape you. Every trial, every failure, every scar adds a new layer to your character, making it sharper, harder, more resilient. To avoid the struggle is to avoid the growth. The strong do not flinch in the face of conflict. They welcome it, knowing that it is the fire that tempers them. The foundation of character is discipline, and discipline is not a gift. It is a battle. The weak treat their whims as masters, letting every fleeting desire dictate their actions. But the strong are ruthless, cutting away distractions with precision, focusing their energy on what truly matters. Discipline is not about deprivation. It is about control, about choosing the harder path because it leads to greater heights. To upgrade your character is to master yourself. Strength of character is not found in what you achieve, but in what you endure. The weak measure themselves by their successes, clinging to achievements as if they define them. But the strong know that true character is revealed in adversity, in the moments when the world conspires to break you, and yet you stand firm. To upgrade is to face these moments without hesitation, to see each challenge as a test and to rise to meet it. Upgrading your character is an act of defiance. The weak are content to play the role assigned to them, to stay within the bounds of what is expected, of what is safe. But the strong refuse to be defined by others. They rewrite their script, tearing apart the limits imposed on them and building a new identity from the ground up. To upgrade is not to fit into the world. It is to reshape the world around you. Character is not static. It is a weapon, and like any weapon, it must be sharpened. The weak let their character dull, mistaking stagnation for consistency. But the strong are relentless, honing their edge with every decision, every action, every thought. To upgrade is not to abandon who you are, but to refine it, to strip away the weaknesses and fortify the strengths. The weak accept who they are. The strong become who they need to be. Every upgrade demands sacrifice. The weak shy away from this, unwilling to let go of the comforts, habits, and illusions that keep them in place. But the strong understand that to gain something greater, you must first lose what no longer serves. To upgrade your character is to shed the skin of your former self, to leave behind the parts of you that hold you back. It is a violent process, but one that leads to freedom. Character is not built in isolation. It is forged in the crucible of relationships, challenges, and conflict. The weak avoid these things, retreating into themselves, hoping to grow in the absence of friction. But the strong embrace the messiness of life, knowing that each interaction, each clash, each failure is a tool for growth. To upgrade is not to step away from the world. It is to dive into it fully, to use every experience as a stepping stone to something greater. The ultimate upgrade is not a change in what you do, but a change in who you are. The weak focus on the external, chasing achievements, possessions, and status. But the strong look inward, understanding that character is the foundation on which all else is built. To upgrade is not to decorate the exterior. It is to reinforce the core, to become someone capable of achieving whatever you set your sights on. Crisis is the crucible in which the depth of your character is revealed. It is not the calm that defines you, but the storm. In comfort, everyone wears a mask of composure, but when the world crumbles, when the foundations beneath your feet crack and shift, the facade falls. What remains is the raw essence of who you are. The weak cling to their masks, pretending the storm is not raging, hoping it will pass without exposing them. But the strong step into the chaos, unafraid of what will be uncovered. Crisis does not destroy the strong. It defines them. In the moments of greatest crisis, choices are stripped to their core. The weak flounder, paralyzed by indecision, by the fear of choosing wrong. But the strong understand that any action, even imperfect, is better than stagnation. Crisis is not a time for hesitation. It is a call to arms, a demand for clarity and resolve. The strong act with purpose, knowing that even failure teaches, even mistakes build. Crisis refines them, sharpening their instincts, their will, their character. Adversity is a mirror, reflecting not what you want to be, but what you truly are. The weak avert their gaze, terrified of the image staring back at them. They see only their flaws, their limitations, their fears. But the strong look deeper, finding within the reflection the potential for something greater. Crisis reveals the cracks, yes, but also the steel beneath. The strong do not shy away from their reflection. They use it as a blueprint for transformation. The weak crumble under pressure, mistaking the weight of crisis for their undoing. They let the burden crush them, believing they are too fragile to endure. But the strong see crisis as a test, as an opportunity to prove their resilience. Pressure does not break them. It hardens them, fortifies them, prepares them for the battles to come. Crisis is not their enemy. It is their ally, shaping them into something unyielding. Character is not forged in safety. It is hammered into shape by crisis. The weak seek to avoid the heat to escape the forge, clinging to a softness that leaves them vulnerable. But the strong embrace the fire, knowing that each blow of the hammer strengthens them. Each spark ignites something within. Crisis is the forge, and the strong are the weapon being honed. To endure the fire is to emerge sharper, stronger, unstoppable. Crisis demands sacrifice. The weak resist this, clinging to what no longer serves them, unwilling to let go of the comfort, the illusions, the safety nets they've built. But the strong understand that sacrifice is the price of growth. Crisis strips away the unnecessary, the unworthy, the weak. What remains is the essence of character, the foundation on which something greater can be built. The strong do not mourn what is lost. They celebrate what is left. The lessons of crisis are brutal, but they are necessary. The weak seek to forget, to bury the pain, to pretend it never happened. But the strong carry these lessons with them, letting each scar tell a story, each wound serve as a reminder of their strength. Crisis is not something to escape. It is something to learn from, to grow from, to rise above. The strong turn their pain into power, their wounds into wisdom. Crisis does not care who you are. It treats all the same. The weak see this as unfair, railing against the injustice of their circumstances. But the strong see it as liberation, as a chance to rise above the constraints of identity and expectation. Crisis is the great equalizer, stripping away the superficial and leaving only character behind. The strong do not fear this. They welcome it, knowing that it is their chance to prove their worth. The aftermath of crisis reveals the divide between the weak and the strong. The weak rebuild what was, clinging to the past, trying to restore what is no longer viable. But the strong build something new, using the rubble of the old as the foundation for the future. Crisis is not a return to what was. It is a leap toward what could be. The strong see the opportunity in the destruction, the potential in the chaos.